As I'm recording this video, Civ 6 is currently on a big sale. It's currently 90% off until the 2nd of September, so this is a great time to hop in and get into Civ 6. Now, as you can see, 90% off across the board pretty much, except for the Anthology, it's a little bit less. But for some of us, we just can't afford to buy all the DLC, even though it's heavily discounted, it's just too expensive. If you have the money for the Platinum Edition, which gets you Gathering Storm, which is the main thing, then, go ahead and get that. But if you want everything else, and you just can't afford it, well, I have a solution for you. So, essentially, there's a way to get all the DLC for free, but of course, you do need the base game. This will not work if you do not have the base game. So go on the Steam store, buy it for how much it is in your currency, get the 90% deal, and let's get right into it. So in the description below, you will find a link to the download and then also a link to the source code. If you know any programming, you can check the source code out, make sure that it's totally legit. There's nothing malicious in there. And if you don't trust me even further, you can compile the code yourself and run it. I'm going to quickly just show you the code slowly so then you can have a quick scan. So the way it works is it just downloads all the DLCs zipped up from somewhere else, and then it extracts them into your game folder. And then it uses something called the Cream API to trick Steam into thinking that you own those DLCs. So if I just quickly go to my documents, this is what it's downloaded. And if I just open it up with 7-zip, open archive, I go into it, all the DLCs are in here. And then if we go into base, binaries, Win64 Steam, we can find the patches needed to trick Steam into thinking you own the DLCs. So there's no executables in here that's ran. This is just pretty much just the game files. If you're wondering where I got the files from, it's from cs.rin.ru. If you wish, you can, if you have your own DLC URL that someone's uploaded or something, you can change the source code and compile it for yourself and just change the URL here. And what it does is it just automatically finds where the game is installed, extracts the files there, and deletes the zip file afterwards. I'm going to quickly run it for you. It's going to be pretty quick for me. I've already have everything installed. Like I made it check if you have everything installed already, it's just going to skip just to make sure you're not wasting your time. So I'm going to go to the downloads, this is the exe here. And there are some requirements. You do need a stable internet connection. If it's cutting out, there might be some issues, especially with this file host, because this file host here, what it does is it limits you to 5 gigs. And then after that, it becomes super, super slow. So instead of taking 10 minutes to download with a decent connection, it suddenly takes an hour. So if suddenly your internet cuts off midway, then you just wasted 2.5 gigs of your limit. So that can be an issue. And then you also need to make sure that this is run as an administrator, because you need to access the Steam files, which needs admin. So that means if you're a bit technical and let's say you changed it to your account to be standard, not administrator, then you need to right click the file and press open as administrator. And finally, like I said before, you do need the game installed on Steam. One thing that isn't mentioned here is that you need around 15 gigs of space. 5 gigs for the zip file, then 10 gigs for the extracted DLC. And then once you have all those requirements met, you just open the exe and press enter continue. It'll automatically do everything for you. It's because I have this file open. So if I just rerun it, it shouldn't error. It will automatically do all the installation process for you, extracting it and everything like that. And when it's done, it has a nice little message saying it's done, and then you just press enter and it closes. From this point on, you can just open Civ 6 and just get straight into it. And that's pretty much everything that is to it. It's open source again. You can verify the code is legit. And that's pretty much it.